Good afternoon. This is All India Radio and I am VC Pramod with the midday news. The headlines. Prime Minister Narendra Modi says Centre has brought reforms to make India a $5 trillion economy. Polling underway for the fifth and final phase of Jharkhand Assembly elections, 49% polling recorded. Assam Chief Minister says government will hold dialogue with leadership of the protesting organizations. Mobile services restored in the entire state. Environment Minister Prakash Javadekar says India will soon achieve the carbon emission target set in the Paris Agreement. North India continues to be in the grip of severe cold wave. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has said the centre has brought a number of reforms to lay a strong foundation to make India a $5 trillion economy. Addressing the annual conference of the industry body Assam in New Delhi today, the Prime Minister said in the last 5 years, the country has strengthened itself so much that such goals can be set and achieved. He said the entire country has to come together and fulfill their duties to achieve the target. The Prime Minister said 5 years ago, the Indian economy was running towards destruction and his government has changed that and brought discipline and positivity.
भारत की अर्थव्यवस्था तय नियमों से चले, तय लक्ष्यों की तरफ बढ़े, इसके लिए हमने व्यवस्था में आधारभूत परिवर्तन किए हैं, चौतरफा फैसले लिए हैं, उद्योग जगत की दशकों पुरानी मांगों को पूरा करने पर ध्यान दिया है और इसलिए आज $5 ट्रिलियन की इकोनॉमी के लिए एक मजबूत आधार बना है.
He added the government is not afraid of any challenges. Prime Minister said India now has a government which listens to farmers, labourers and the corporate world. He said due to the steps taken by the NDA government, now 13 banks have returned to profit. He assured the people associated with banking and corporate sector that the old weaknesses have been ironed out and they should take decisions bravely, invest openly and spend well.
सरकार द्वारा उठाए गए कदमों की वजह से अब 13 बैंक मुनाफे में वापस आ चुके हैं. 6 बैंक पीसीए से भी बाहर निकल चुके हैं. हमने बैंकों का एकीकरण भी तेज किया है. बैंक अब अपना देशव्यापी नेटवर्क बढ़ा रहे हैं और अपनी ग्लोबल पहुंच कायम करने की ओर अग्रसर हैं. हमारी सरकार ने बैंकों के कारोबारी फैसलों में किसी तरह की दखलंदाजी को समाप्त कर दिया है.
Prime Minister said government wants to formalize and modernize the economy. The Prime Minister said to bring transparency, efficiency and accountability in the tax system, government is heading towards faceless tax administration. Congratulating the industry body, Mr. Modi said the theme that Assam have set for the centenary celebrations is associated with the goals and dreams of the country and countrymen. Polling is underway for the fifth and final phase of assembly elections in Jharkhand. 49% voting was recorded till 1 p.m. Voting is taking place for 16 constituencies spread over Sahibganj, Pakur, Dumka, Jamtara, Deoghar and Godda districts of Santal Pargana region in this phase. More from our correspondent.
Despite severe cold wave, a large number of voters have come out from their houses to exercise their right to franchise. In Naxal-affected areas, people are voting fearlessly. People from the rural areas are exercising their right to franchise in large numbers than the urban voters. Women voters have outnumbered male voters in almost all polling booths of 16 constituencies. The first-time voters, senior citizens and Divyangs are enthusiastic about their right to vote. With Kekila's report from Jamtara, Swati Rakheja for AIR News.
The Assam government will hold dialogue with the leadership of the protesting organizations. Talking to media in Guwahati this morning, Chief Minister Sarbanand Sonowal said all issues could be resolved through dialogue and the process of sending invitation to the leaders has been initiated by the Chief Secretary. The Chief Minister firmly said that Assam will always remain for the Assamese and the rights of the indigenous people would not be hurt by the amended Citizenship Act. Mr. Sonowal said he is fully committed to protecting the interests of the people of the state. He said the Prime Minister and the Home Minister have already assured to implement the Clause 6 of the Assam Accord. The Chief Minister appealed people not to pay heed to the rumours and he blamed the rumour mongers for the untoward incidents. He said that SIT has been set up to investigate the cases of violence. Mr. Sonowal asserted that only those who came to state in the wake of religious persecution and staying for decades could apply for the citizenship, contrary to the misinformation that crores of people would settle in Assam. Mr. Sonowal added that people would believe him when the list of the citizenship would be published. Mobile internet services have been restored in the state this morning, which was shut down on the 11th of this month. In Uttar Pradesh, police is keeping extra vigil to maintain law and order situation in the state. Heavy police forces have been deployed in the sensitive areas. As a precautionary measure, internet services have been blocked in various districts, including state capital Lucknow, Bareilly, Aligarh, Meerut, Muzaffarnagar and Saharanpur. More than 3,000 persons have been taken into custody in various districts. 112 persons were detained in connection with the violence in Lucknow yesterday. 18 police personnel were injured in violence in Lucknow and Sambhal. Our correspondent reports that police staged a flag march in many districts to maintain confidence in the general public. Copy of Citizenship Amendment Act were distributed by DIG Police Deepak Kumar in Banda district to increase awareness. In Karnataka, an uneasy calm prevailed in Mangaluru city today, where 2 people died in the protests against the Citizenship Amendment Act last evening. Schools and colleges remain closed and internet services are suspended in the city. The curfew, which was imposed yesterday for 2 days, was relaxed this afternoon. Information and Broadcasting Minister Prakash Javadekar has said some people want to create confusion about the Citizenship Amendment Act. Replying to media queries at an event in New Delhi today, Mr. Javadekar said government is reaching out to people over the issue. He also appealed people not to indulge in violence. Several advocates today asked the Delhi High Court to take contempt of court action against those lawyers who used derogatory words against judges during the hearing of several PILs relating to violence at Jamia Millia Islamia University. After hearing the lawyers, the 2-judge bench said it will refer the matter to one of its relevant committees, which will deliberate on it. This is All India Radio giving you the news. For quick news updates, visit our News on AIR app and follow us on Twitter at AIR News Alerts. You can also visit our website www.newsonair.com. Environment Minister Prakash Javadekar has said India is a top performer in the Paris Agreement and will achieve the carbon emission target soon. Addressing media in New Delhi this afternoon, Mr. Javadekar said the emission intensity reduction target for India was 35% and it has already achieved 21% of it.
The world have credited India and adjudged India as a top performer on the Paris pledges. The Paris Agreement was signed in 2015. Every country has taken goals and we are on track to achieve those goals. Our Prime Minister declared 175,000 megawatt of renewable power. Already 80,000 has been achieved. Now the target we have imposed on ourselves, we have increased it to 450,000 megawatts.
The minister said India's efforts to mitigate climate change and to conserve environment was appreciated at the recently held 25th session of the Conference of Parties to the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change. Mr. Javadekar said no such decision was taken at the summit which were against the interests and stand of India. He said basic countries, Brazil, South Africa, India, China and like-minded 40 developed countries were together on the issue. Mr. Javadekar said India is simultaneously progressing on solar, biomass and wind energy. He added that India's forest cover has also increased 13,000 square kilometers in the last 5 years. Ministry of Petroleum and Natural Gas has taken several initiatives for increasing production and exploitation of all domestic petroleum resources. The aim is to address the priorities like energy access, sustainability and energy security. The ministry had launched the Pradhan Mantri Ujjwala Yojana PMUY to provide clean cooking fuel to women of poor households, which has enhanced economic productivity and quality of life of women. More from our correspondent.
As a measure of good governance, the government introduced well-targeted system of subsidy delivery to LPG consumers through PEHL. As on 13th of this month, around 26 crore LPG consumers have joined the PEHL scheme and over 1 crore 22 lakh rupees have directly been transferred into their bank accounts. Till October this year, over 55 lakh households are availing the benefit of domestic gas in the form of PNG, and the plan is to expand the coverage to achieve additional 1 crore PNG households by 2024. With Dipendra Kumar, Anupam Mishra, AR News, Delhi.
Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman today held 7th pre-budget consultations with stakeholder groups of infrastructure, energy and climate change in New Delhi in connection with the forthcoming Union Budget 2020-21. Rural Development and Panchayati Raj Department of Jammu and Kashmir has bagged 4 different awards at the national level. The awards were given for irrigation works at Gram Panchayat levels and overall effective implementation of MG and Rega scheme at block levels. The award ceremony was held in New Delhi yesterday, which was chaired by Union Minister for Rural Development Narendra Tomar. The centrally sponsored scheme, MG and Rega, supports more than 2.76 lakh rural households in J&K as of now. It caters up to 15.2 lakh registered workers in the state. Jammu and Kashmir Chief Secretary BVR Subramaniam has said the upcoming J&K Global Investor Summit 2020 will kickstart industrial development in the region. He said the summit will propel J&K as the preferred investment destination among the domestic and global investors. Chairing the first meeting of the Apex Committee in Jammu yesterday, the Chief Secretary said it will provide an opportunity to allay fears and apprehensions about investment in the Union Territory. He said it will present immense opportunities to develop contacts between the local and outside business community. Rail and air traffic was affected as visibility dipped considerably due to dense fog that enveloped the national capital this morning. The minimum temperature settled at 6.4 degrees Celsius. Due to low temperature and high humidity, the air quality was also in the severe category in the morning. Over 100 trains were running late by up to 2 hours, while 10 flights were delayed due to dense fog. The weatherman has forecast a partly cloudy sky with cold to severe cold conditions in the city, as the maximum temperature is expected to hover around 16 degrees Celsius. In Jammu and Kashmir, the cold wave continues in Kashmir region for over a week now, following latest spell of rain and snowfall in the region. The minimum temperatures throughout the valley continues to remain several notches below the freezing point. Last night, temperature in Srinagar was recorded at minus 2.6 degrees Celsius. US President Donald Trump has picked Indian-American computer scientist Sethuraman Panchanathan to lead the prestigious National Science Foundation, NSF. The NSF is a US government agency that supports fundamental research and education in all the non-medical fields of science and engineering. Panchanathan would succeed Franz Cordova when her 6-year term as the NSF director ends in 2020. NSF director is a Senate-confirmed position. The 22nd meeting of the Special Representatives for India-China Boundary Question will be held in New Delhi tomorrow. The Indian delegation will be led by National Security Advisor Ajit Doval, and the Chinese side will be led by State Councillor and Foreign Minister of China, Wang Yi. A Delhi court awarded life imprisonment to former BJP MLA Kuldeep Sengar in the Unnao rape and abduction case. Equity benchmarks today hit record highs for 4th session in a row in afternoon trade. Sensex and Nifty both added marginally around 0.1% amid mixed cues from global markets. Sensex at the Bombay Stock Exchange climbed 25 points to 41,699. Nifty at the National Stock Exchange also gained 11 points to trade at 12,271. However, the rupee at the forex market depreciated 14 paise to 71 rupees and 19 paise against the US dollar in afternoon deals. And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Prime Minister Narendra Modi says Centre has brought reforms to make India a $5 trillion economy. Polling underway for the 5th and final phase of Jharkhand Assembly elections. 49% polling recorded. Assam Chief Minister says government will hold dialogue with leadership of the protesting organizations. Mobile services restored in the entire state. Environment Minister Prakash Javadekar says India will soon achieve the carbon emission target set in the Paris Agreement. North India continues to be in the grip of severe cold wave. For details of these stories and more, visit News on AIR app and log on to our website www.newsonair.com. And with that, we end the midday news.